playing each night and sometimes through the night, and the hotelier, much to the disgust of his wife, joined in enthusiastically. In some hotels, Fridays were taken over by the cattle farmers coming to town for provisions and a meal and to stock up on liquor. As for Sundays, people would come from far and wide for lunch, and a typical menu would consist of 2 soups, pickled herrings, steamed fish, curry fish, Irish stew, braised lamb, cutlets, roast leg of mutton, etc., etc., puddings, vegetables, and all at one stage for the price of 3 shillings, and half a pence for children, and as many helpings of each course as you could eat. These hoteliers of an earlier generation lived in their hotels and treated their passing guests as they were old family friends. So from hotels, the natural step had to be our favourite holiday destination, Muizenberg. And I found myself involved together with a team of Muizenberg fundies and ex-residents in compiling an exhibition of the Jewish people's favourite resort, Muizenberg. You will see the names on the acknowledgement board of all those who assisted and played a major role, such as Hedy Davis and the photographer John T. Peters. Memories of Muizenberg means something different to each one of us, and from those genuine Muizenbergers like Peter Stern, who were fortunate to breathe that healthy luft growing up in the village, to the Walis and those far-flung places like Rhodesia and the Congo, who invaded the shtetl lifestyle for a few months each year, adding their own flavour to the little village. And for them, Muizenberg was the ultimate holiday destination on which they set their sights year after year. The journey to compile the Memories of Muizenberg exhibition was not always plain sailing. There were some interesting moments. Can you imagine when the prize photograph of Mrs. Chaim Schmerel, 50 years younger and maybe 50 pounds lighter, in a bathing costume, was not displayed, but her cousin's photo was there? We had to explain that there might have been too many similar photos. Perhaps it did not suit the design, that the decision had been taken by a selection committee, and it was impossible to display everyone's personal history. Diplomacy was very important when it came to saying to the designer that you did not really think it was a good idea for sea sand to be trucked in to the Cape Town Jewish Museum for the visitors to play in. And although a candy floss machine was a good idea, the museum might not like it or be happy with all those sticky fingers on the museum exhibits. But there were those very special moments when we were looking for memorabilia and were offered special hoarded treasures, like the crockery from the Balmoral Hotel, or the fine bone china tea service lent to us by a woman aged 100 that had belonged to her mother, who had used it in the first Muizenberg tea room that she operated before the First World War, in order to support her family when her husband abandoned her. Her tea room was so smart that she imported waiters from Durban for the summer season, even people from as far afield as Sea Point, motored for 3 hours on a Sunday afternoon to have tea and cake at this restaurant. It was amazing at how many people were interested in the early history that the exhibition captured, and also the photos of the snake pit. Do you remember it? Look in the exhibition for an enlarged picture taken in the snake pit. You might even find yourselves. This picture was one of a little was one little black and white photograph taken with the old brownie box camera that we enlarged. So please go and have a look at it. Many romances started in the snake pit and ended under the chuppah. Dates were made for a night out to the Bach floor, to the Milky Bar, and the Vic Davis show, and to Norman's Cafe, and the Empire Bicycle, and a walk on the promenade, touching the end for good luck. Until the 1950s, Muizenberg was South Africa's premier holiday resort, but the short season and increasingly more sophisticated demands of prospective guests meant that the aging hotels could no longer compete, and slowly the hotels closed down, and the young people sought their mates on Clifton Beach with its cold water, instead of Muizenberg's gentle, sloping sands. And so we built an exhibition which became a rich tapestry of many stories and pieces of information and photographs that had been sourced from family albums, libraries, and newspaper, sourced from all corners of the globe. And it has been sewn together with love and dedication over many, many months in an attempt to capture and document the memories of the Jewish people in Muizenberg. Sadly, the lights in many small communities in South Africa have faded. But one hopes that these records and exhibitions will be a legacy to the future generations, and that you will enjoy the memories that this evening will bring back to you. Thank you.